Welcome, everybody, to the first game of the 2025 California Winter League playoffs. The regular season has concluded. Just earlier today, it was the Canada A's defeating Team China 3-1 for the number 1 seed. They clinch the top spot, and they will advance to the semifinals on Saturday, as well as Team China in the number 2 seed. And on the backfield, the Power defeated the Blue Sox. The Power will be the 4 seed. The Blue Sox, the 5 seed. They'll face off against each other. The 3 seed, the Palm Springs Chill, has clinched earlier this week in that 3 spot. They will face the winner of today's wild card game between the number 7 Alberta Grizzly and the number 6 British Columbia Bombers. Hi, everybody. It's Joey Miller, Stephen Buxton here at Palm Springs Stadium, getting ready for some great playoff baseball for the California Winter League season. Into this wild card game, last year, Jared Lemieux's Alberta Grizzly took down the number 1 seeded Washington Blue Sox in the 2024 California Winter League Championship. Today, it's between him and his 3rd California Winter League season against ex-MLB veteran Aaron Miles, coaching the Bombers in his 1st season. One team will advance to the quarterfinals on Friday to face the number 3 Palm Springs Chill. The other one will not see tomorrow. There is a bit of history between these two who have kind of sat in the cellar in the standings. The Alberta Grizzly finishing in last place at 3-12 on the regular season. The British Columbia Bombers at 4-10. These two teams faced off against each other twice this season, both last week on Wednesday and Friday. The Bombers beat the Grizzly in both games, accounting for half of Aaron Miles' 4 wins with the British Columbia Bombers this season. Both games were low-scoring, tight games with no more than 4 runs of each other in either game. But for the Alberta Grizzly, they have some sour momentum coming into today's game. They finished the regular season on a 5-game losing streak, 1-7 in the month of February. And the Grizzly have been outscored by opponents with a run differential of -46. The Grizzlies' pitching staff have given up double-digit runs in 4 of the final 8 games of the regular season, including 2 15-run losses since last Monday that Stephen Buxton and I know quite well. Heading into today's game, the starting pitchers for both sides, it'll be Takushi Minagawa, a well-relied-on starter for the British Columbia Bombers, one of their shining aces in occasional scenarios. And Matthew Maldonado, somebody that Jared Lemieux has really relied heavily on from both sides. He's going to be a pitcher DH today. We'll get through lineups in a bit, but let's set the scene here. Stephen Buxton, what are we going to see in today's game based on the trend of both of these teams heading into the playoff game?
Well, it's 2 offenses. The Bombers have gotten things going in the last week or so, putting up a couple big numbers lately. The last time out, it was a close game. It was 2-1. The first time out, it was 6-2 on the backfield. And the story of the game was the Bombers' number 3 hitter, Davis Druick. He went 3 for 3. He had a home run. He had 6. All 6 of the RBIs were from Davis Druick. Matthew Maldonado started that game on the mound. He started the most recent game on the mound. He went 4 innings. He allowed 2 runs. It was a solid start from him. So they should expect some quality to start the things off from the Grizzly side. And for the Grizzly, it was an offense that has really carried the team this season, even though they've had a tough season really to start with. The offense has been the bright spot. Until recently, they've struggled a little bit. But coming back yesterday and in the lineup today, Matthew Fabian, a big cog who has been really the leader in the clubhouse in most stats for them.
Yeah, Matthew Fabian, who appeared for the first time since January 31st yesterday in the Grizzlies' final game of the season on the backfield, where they fell to the Washington Blue Sox. But for the British Columbia Bombers, a team that lost their first 5 games in a row, although their record may not show it, their team has shown some improvements with each game. Despite their 4-10 record, their offense has the third best collective average in the league at 274. They're one of the 4 teams in the CWL who finished the regular season with over 100 hits. And I think it needs to be stated that they lead the league in home runs. The long ball, 6 home runs for the British Columbia Bombers, 2 of which coming off of the bat of Davis Druick in just the past week. Eddie Javier Jr. not here anymore. Elijah Dickerson, Nolan Macabrota, and Bubba Thompson have all brought the boom this season for the Bombers. They double the amount of team home runs than the runner-up, the Palm Springs Chill, with 3. So their offense really hasn't been the issue. It's been the pitching trying to hold things down. They've seen a little bit of run support early in contests, but with a couple big hits for the British Columbia Bombers heading down the stretch into this playoff game, it cannot go without mention. Doriel Beck, his injury scratches him from potentially playing in this game. One of the best hitters for average in the league. He got an ankle injury on the backfield just a couple days ago. Beck was kind of an everyday go-to in the leadoff spot. Now Aaron Miles has been put in a major disposition since he went down. He's still got a great lineup, however. He'll have the home advantage today. And let's take you through lineups, might as well. For the Alberta Grizzly to kick off things in the first inning when we get started here soon. It'll be Davey Morgan at second base, Andrew Gravdahl in center field, kind of a newcomer in session 2. Scott Shaw in left field, typically batting in the 3 spot. Braden Dolbatian at first base, the power-hitting first baseman that's really held things down for a struggling Grizzlies offense. Matthew Maldonado, the pitcher DH, in the 5 spot. Matthew Fabian, we just mentioned, leading the team in average in right field today. AJ Carosis at third base. At the 7 spot, Anthony Burgos behind the dish. He's been behind the dish for a lot of games. His only backup is really Thomas Petrosino, but Burgos kind of one of those guys that really gets it done defensively speaking. And then Josh Roberts finishing out the lineup, the switch hitter at shortstop today. For the British Columbia Bombers, taking you down the lineup, it'll be Elijah Dickerson in center field, Joshua Hoffman in right field, the ever-so-amazing Davis Druick coming into the playoffs absolutely scorching. He'll be at third base today. Nolan Macabrota at first base. Howie Hatton in the DH spot to follow him. Mason Collins, a newcomer in session 2, behind the dish. Bubba Thompson at shortstop. Jaden Brown in left field. And Mark Hernandez at second base. Matthew Maldonado will bring his way to the mound in just a few moments here to kick things off. And the starter for the British Columbia Bombers will be Takushi Minagawa, as we just mentioned. Really exciting to see this matchup here. These two pitchers, they're throwing out their best right now. Obviously, both of these teams did not finish with a winning record. Both of the teams 8.5 or further behind first base to finish out the season. But today, it's win or go home. And as the lineups are being finished here at Palm Springs Stadium on this rather cloudy afternoon, we will take a break for anthems, and when we come back, the first playoff game of the 2025 California Winter League season, the wild card game, the British Columbia Bombers, the Alberta Grizzly. Who will advance to the quarterfinals and whose season ends at the end of regulation? We will be right back here on the California Winter League YouTube channel. Stick around. It has been 20 days since opening day of the 2025 California Winter League season. These days have accumulated and all up into this point as we get set for playoff baseball here in February of 2025. And for the wild card game, the British Columbia Bombers will take on the Alberta Grizzly, the 6 and 7 seed. One person will advance to the quarterfinals on Friday. The other one will have their season cut short and fall flat to end the year. Takushi Minagawa gets his warm-up pitches on the mound for the British Columbia Bombers here at Palm Springs Stadium in lovely Palm Springs, California. First pitch just moments away. Joey Miller, Stephen Buxton. And kicking things off for the Alberta Grizzly, managed by Jared Lemieux, will be Davey Morgan, Andrew Gravdahl, and Scott Shaw to see if they can kick things off and turn their luck around. Both of these teams finishing with losing records and double-digit losses. Davey Morgan steps in to kick things off. The 2025 California Winter League postseason is now underway. Takushi Minagawa gets some dirt off of the rubber and comes set and is ready to fire the first pitch of the postseason, which misses low for ball one. We are underway at 12:32 Pacific Standard Time here in Palm Springs, California. 1-0 the count on Davey Morgan on this 63 degrees and cloudy day right near downtown Palm Springs. The righty Minagawa fires one, a fastball. It hits for strike one. It's a 1-1 count on Davey Morgan. Morgan finished out the regular season on a .286 average, 8 for 28 with 7 strikeouts. So he takes the next pitch low and outside on another fastball there. It's a 2-1 count on Davey Morgan. Went 0 for 3 against the Bombers in total, 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. For Takushi Minagawa, the Japanese-born pitcher. Hums one in there that hits the edge of the zone. It's a 2-2 count. Minagawa finished out the regular season 1-3 with an ERA just under 3 in just over 14 innings pitched. The 2-2, a swing and a miss, and we're underway with a foul tip into the glove of Collins. And strikeout number 1 in this game, in this postseason recorded. We send it to Andrew Gravdahl, the lefty. Andrew Gravdahl against the Bombers 1 for 7. One of his 3 hits that he's gotten in his 14 at-bats so far in the California Winter League season. He takes strike 1 off of Minagawa. Only 6 games played in the regular season, a Session 2 guy. Curveball loops in, but below the knees for ball 1. A .214 average in those 14 at-bats. He's coming into the playoffs on a 2-game hitting streak. This one off the end of the bat will go foul down the left field line. Another 2-strike count for Takushi Minagawa.
Minagawa, you said coming in 1-3, that one his last time out, his best outing against these Grizzlies on Friday. 4 innings, didn't allow a run. He struck out 7.
He's had at least 4 innings of work in his last 3 appearances as this next pitch is driven into right center. That'll fall for the first hit of the postseason. Rounding first and into second. The throw in is not in time. The relay kind of dribbled in there, and there's a double with 1 out for Andrew Gravdahl to kick things off for the Grizzly offense.
Great job by Gravdahl. One of the Session 2 guys hits it not too hard into the gap, and it's cut off and kind of lackadaisical throw allows him, who was thinking 2 right out of the box, to go and get a hustle double to start the game off for the Grizzly.
So now it'll be Scott Shaw, back-to-back lefties in this Grizzly lineup. Scott Shaw takes strike 1. Scott Shaw, who inked up a contract to join the Gateway Grizzlies in Sauget, Illinois. He's 0 for 3 against the Bombers on the year with a strikeout. A half swing and a miss. He does go around at the fastball that hits upstairs, a protective swing, and Scott Shaw falls behind 0-2. With a runner at second and 1 out, the Alberta Grizzly have a chance to strike first here in this wild card game. The 0-2 cuts inside and hits him on the foot. And now 2 base runners are aboard. Really unfortunate to have an 0-2 count and a chance at out number 2 with the momentum going your way for Minagawa, and he just plunks him in the foot. Now you got 2 on for Braden Dolbatian. The cleanup spot for the Grizzly has typically been the cleanup spot all year, a mainstay at first base where he plays today. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Braden Dolbatian batting from the right side, 1 for 2 against the Bombers last week. He is 13 for 34 on the season. A very solid .382 average as he takes a curveball foul. Doesn't wait back on it, but gets a piece of it. He falls behind 0-2. Braden Dolbatian leads this team, the Alberta Grizzly, with hits, averages over 20 at-bats, and RBIs. Has been a shining beacon for what has been a slower offense in the California Winter League. The 0-2 is powered foul. Down the right field line, gets out of play. The Grizzly in their green jersey tops facing off against the bright yellow Bombers. These jerseys have been carried out through every game in the California Winter League season. A Green Bay Packers matchup, so to speak. There's a swing and a miss. Blew a 90-mile-per-hour fastball by him. And there's strikeout number 2, out number 2, with the 2 runners still on base for Matthew Maldonado, who has had a lot of opportunities in the pitcher/DH spot to try and provide some run support for himself before he takes the mound in the bottom of this inning. It's the top of the first here. The pitch gets away from Collins, the catcher, allowing the 2 runners to advance on the pass ball. Now 2 runners in scoring position on a ball 1 to Matthew Maldonado, who hits in the 5 spot. A .320 hitter coming into the playoffs, coming off his best offensive day of the season, going 3 for 4 versus the Blue Sox on the backfield yesterday. He takes a strike 1, call on the outside edge. It's a 1-1 count. Gravdal and Shaw in scoring position. Minagawa delivers a pitch that misses below the knees of Maldonado, the lefty. Maldonado gets ahead 2-1. Trying to get out of the inning with a 0. Only 1 hit allowed from Minagawa so far. As the next pitch is fouled back into the screen, it's a 2-2 count. That hit coming off the bat of Andrew Gravdal, who's just 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the 2025 California Winter League postseason. Minagawa comes set at the hat. Fires a pitch that gets slapped into center field. That'll fall in front of Dickerson. Scoring is Gravdal, and rounding third is Shaw. The throw is wide, allowing Maldonado to advance to second on an RBI single, getting the Alberta Grizzly up 2-0 here in the top of the first.
Good job by Maldonado there, giving himself some run support. Takes a fastball in on the hands and just drives it right out to center field. It fell right in front of Dickerson, who gave it his all, but again, when he almost gave a full tumbling janitor throw, threw it right over Collins at the backstop, and both runs score.
And now it's Matthew Fabian who takes this first pitch into right center. That'll fall into no man's land. Coming around to score is Maldonado for the third run of the game. Quickly, it's 3-0 Alberta Grizzly right out of the gate. Back-to-back RBI hits from Maldonado and Fabian. The Grizzly not wanting to end their season today. A.J. Carosis now steps up to the plate. Still 2 outs. And a runner now at first. Carosis batting from the left side. This one on the ground towards the second baseman, Hernandez. A big hop there. He grabs it and throws on to first. For out number 3 on the first pitch, the Alberta Grizzlies strike first in the 2025 wild card game. They're on top 3-0, heading into the bottom of the first, here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99, including one mouth-watering entree, a refreshing beverage, a $10 power card, and a whole lot of fun, which means you enjoy a delicious meal for under $10. Oh, look, that's 5 good things. Good things come in threes at Dave & Buster's with the Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Buy online or in-store today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Bottom of the first, and right out of the gate in this wild card game, the Alberta Grizzly take a 3-0 lead on back-to-back RBI hits from Matthew Maldonado and Matthew Fabian. The two Matthews getting it done early in this contest against the British Columbia Bombers. Winner-go-home game, and Matthew Maldonado, speaking of, is now taking the mound. Now that he's provided his own run support, getting a 2 RBI single to center field, he'll take the mound for the 6th time in the 2025 California Winter League season, and obviously the first playoff appearance. And in those 5 appearances, he's had 4 starts. He's had 3 decisions. He's gone 0-3 on the season, including his most recent appearance where he took the loss to these British Columbia Bombers on a narrow 2-1 loss, where he gave up both runs on 5 hits and 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's hoping to have a better result now with the lead heading into the bottom of the first. But for the British Columbia Bombers and their rising offense, they're going to try and fight back immediately and avoid the shutdown inning. Matthew Maldonado, who bats from the left side, throws from the right side. He'll face off against Elijah Dickerson, one of the best hitters in the California Winter League, finishing out his season 13 for 32, a .406 hitter with a bright yellow bat to match his uniform. He takes the first pitch low for ball 1. For Elijah Dickerson, he's the highest average among active Bomber players, that excluding Doriel Beck, who is out with an injury, and Eddie Javier Jr., who signed with the Florence Yalls and left about a week or 2 ago. Next pitch misses low for ball 2. And Elijah Dickerson ahead of the count on Matthew Maldonado. Against the Grizzly, he went 2 for 6. With a hit by pitch and a stolen base, he gets one on the ground down the first base line, goes foul for strike 1. 3-0 Grizzly, the Bombers looking to put up a great first inning, just like their opponent today. Maldonado stares down the barrel of his battery mate, Burgos. Takes a deep breath and fires the 2-1. Breaking ball misses outside out of the hands of the righty. It's a 3-1 hitter's count for the center fielder of the British Columbia Bombers. Jared Lemieux trying to get back to the championship in back-to-back seasons. Aaron Miles trying to see tomorrow as well. There's a breaking ball that floats into the zone. Dickerson not eager on a 3-1 count. Now falls to a 3-2 count here in the bottom of the first. The lefty Dickerson eagerly awaits the full count as he waves his bat above his shoulders. The payoff pitch is fouled off into the bleachers on the third base side. Count remains full.
I was interested to see how Matthew Maldonado could recover coming off that first inning. Obviously, he had to hit. He ran around to score. It was pretty quick after his at-bat, but so far looking good.
And Jared Lemieux has trusted him in situations like this where he knows that he's going to get worn out, but he is a workhorse. This one off the end of the bat, and Dickerson stays alive on another foul ball just over the net and into the bleachers.
It's never really an issue with the arm at that point. It's more just getting the heart rate down, being able to settle down quickly and get ready for your first inning where you've got a lead. You've got some room to work with.
8th pitch of this at-bat. Due up next. Maldonado fires again. The 3-2 misses outside and loses the battle. Gives up a free base to kick things off in the bottom of the first. Elijah Dickerson is very speedy. Obviously, if you're trusted in center field, you probably know how to get around the bases, and we have seen Dickerson do so. He'll be aboard with nobody out for Joshua Hoffman, today's right fielder. Hoffman, the righty, looks on to another righty on the mound who blows by a fastball. The ball gets out of the view sight of Burgos. It's right behind him. He picks it up, but allows Dickerson to advance. Should just be a straight stolen base there, as the ball was in his vicinity. It's an 0-1 count now on Joshua Hoffman, who chased the fastball high. Burgos going out to chat with Matthew Maldonado, his hand on his back, as the umpires also convene, the third base and home plate umpire, in this brief time here. A runner in scoring position now for the British Columbia Bombers. A chance for Joshua Hoffman to put up a run on the board. Joshua Hoffman, 12 hits on the season, a .375 hitter. Had 3 games this season with 3 or more hits. That's really where he did it. It did his damage. Also never went more than 2 games without a hit. Has not faced off against the Grizzly this season. He's in the 2 spot today and behind 0-1 to Matthew Maldonado, who fires the 0-1, a breaking ball that misses low and evens up the count at 1 apiece. A massive power hitter threat in the on-deck circle. The 3 spot in Davis Druick, who we'll tell you more about when he comes to the plate. As the next pitch, a fastball misses outside at 86. For a 2-1 count by Maldonado. Maldonado, the tall 6'2", righty on the mound. A 2-1 gets over the head of Josh Roberts at short into left field. Rounding third is Elijah Dickerson. The throw will not be made into home plate. It's an RBI single by Joshua Hoffman, and they cut the lead down to 2 for the Alberta Grizzly. It's 3-1 Grizzly. The Bombers getting on the board with their first 2 getting on base off of Matthew Maldonado.
Hoffman gets a slider inside on him, pulls the hands in, and able to lace one out into left field, and a quick start for the Bombers. Elijah Dickerson runs well. There was no question if he could score on that one.
Now here comes Davis Druick, and what cannot be said enough about Davis Druick's last 7 days as he takes strike 1 with a runner at first. 3-1 Grizzly. Davis Druick in his past 7 days, 6 for 12, including 2 3-run home runs and 9 RBIs, including one of those home runs off of the Grizzly. He takes strike 2 on the outside corner. The tall lefty is now behind 0-2. Has a chance to tie it up on one swing of the bat here, and this would be the guy to do it. Matthew Maldonado takes a deep breath on the mound, but quickly fires over to first. Joshua Hoffman gets back to first standing. And we'll resume things here in this big battle. Maldonado comes set at the hip. For now, the 0-2 count. Misses low and away for ball 1. 9 for his last 13 and 12 RBIs. I will amend my statement there. But it also kind of just continues to prove my point of how well Davis Druick has done down the stretch. The 1-2 is fouled, and his bat splits. His bat splinters, rather. He'll toss it aside. The count remains 1-2 as he grabs a new piece of lumber. Davis Druick, with his 2 home runs on the season, he is one of the 2 California Winter League players who finishes the regular season with multiple home runs, including Ethan Martini, who is no longer here. I believe he got an offer from a Frontier League organization. Ethan Martini of the Palm Springs Chill. They will miss his presence as they head into the quarterfinals and face whoever wins this ball game. The 1-2 misses high. The dust coming out of the glove of Anthony Burgos. It's been a kind of a dusty couple days. This ball 2 misses upstairs. It's a 2-2 count. Not much sun peeking out from behind those clouds. A gentle breeze blowing in. There's a curveball. It gets a big swing and a miss from Davis Druick. A big out. Finally, out number 1 recorded after the first 2 come aboard for the Bombers. Brings up Nolan Macabrota with 1 out and a runner at first. Macabrota, 1 for 2 against the Alberta Grizzly on the season. Has also had an impressive February, 8 for 18, including a home run on his own account, 4 RBIs as well. He got that home run here in Palm Springs Stadium. Absolutely laced it into right field as he fouls the first pitch back for strike 1.
Yeah, and with Druick, it can't go understated how much he's heated up. He started out 2 for his first 15, and then really that game against the Power on February 3rd. Since then, he's been arguably the best hitter in the league.
Maldonado finds his set again. An 0-1 count with 1 out. He'll find the strike zone again, away from the lefty batter, Macabrota. It's an 0-2 count. And at risk of a second out here, middle infield in double play depth, hoping to end this inning. Despite the 1 run that has come across for the British Columbia Bombers, the Alberta Grizzlies still lead 3-1. This one served into right field, but has enough hang time for Fabian to come over and grab it, and now has an attempt to make a play at first, but Joshua Hoffman gets back safely. It's out number 2 for Nolan Macabrota. Matthew Maldonado evades the 2 power hitters in this lineup. That brings up the DH Howie Hatton with the last chance to get Joshua Hoffman around and potentially score the second run of the game for the British Columbia Bombers. Hatton has had a lot of success against the Grizzly, 2 for 3, a .310 hitter. No walks on the season, surprisingly, in those 29 at-bats. Maldonado gets ready to fire a fresh count to the righty. A breaking ball that loops over the plate right down Main Street for strike number 1. Maldonado, as opposed to his last outing or two, has done a great job getting ahead of counts. And that's what you have to do in this league. You have to throw strikes. It's where you find your success most. You can't give up a lot of free bases. He gave up one that already came around to score. There goes Hoffman on the ball that misses low. It gets away from Davey Morgan into center field, allowing Hoffman to advance to third on a stolen base and an error. Now the second run potentially for the Bombers just 90 feet away on what will be a 1-1 count to Howie Hatton. First error of the game as well on the throw by Anthony Burgos. Howie Hatton looks on with his red bat in contrast of his yellow uniform. Another breaking ball. Doesn't break as much and misses the zone. Kind of middle in. And it's ball 2. Howie Hatton gets ahead of the count. Hatton has not recorded a strikeout in 5 games since he got 3 on February 1st against the Chill. He's either laid something on in terms of contact, as there's a ball that goes on the field and breaks up a time called for some action happening in the bullpen. Nothing official, rather just a game of catch right now. It looks to be Minagawa just trying to stay fresh. The 2-1 fouled back into the screen. Now it's a 2-2 count. A chance to get out of the inning for Matthew Maldonado, just 1 strike away. 3-1 Alberta Grizzly here in the bottom of the first. An offensive explosion to kick things off in the 2025 California Winter League postseason. Maldonado now fires the 2-2. Misses outside and low on an 87-mile-per-hour fastball, and the count runs full. Middle infielders kind of split, allowing a lot of space up the middle. With that runner still at third and Joshua Hoffman. The 3-2. Misses up and inside on a breaking ball that did not break. The second walk of the inning issued by Matthew Maldonado gets runners at the corners with 2 outs for Mason Collins.
And this is what's really defined Maldonado in his good outings versus his bad outings. He's got 3 good outings that it's a combined 5 walks in them. And then he's got 2 bad ones. It was back-to-back against the A's in China. 13 walks in just 7 2/3 innings. 10 earned runs between the two.
Mason Collins, a Session 2 guy. He steps in. This is his only 5th game played. He serves the first pitch into left field. Scott Shaw is under it. He'll make the grab for out number 3, leaving 2 stranded. But the Grizzly bite back and avoid the shutdown inning. It's 3-1 Alberta Grizzly after 1 here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented, You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
We're through the first inning of the 2025 California Winter League wild card game between the British Columbia Bombers, who are behind on the Alberta Grizzly. Now 3-1 the score after an offense-heavy first inning. 4 total hits, 3 of which in favor of the Alberta Grizzly, and Takushi Minagawa back on the mound to face Anthony Burgos for the first time today. First pitch misses low and away for ball 1, and for Anthony Burgos, he has yet to get a hit against the Bombers. He went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. 8 for 34 on the season, just above the Mendoza line. He swings and misses over a nice pitch that tails low out of the hand of the righty on the mound. It's a 1-1 count on Burgos, who's really struggled with those strikeouts. As the next pitch misses inside, it's a 2-1 count. He leads the team in strikeouts, 15 of them. He's third in the CWL. His past 10 at-bats, 2 for 10, with 5 of them resulting in a strikeout as the next pitch cuts inside, moving Burgos off the plate. The count runs to a 3-1 hitter's count. That's not to say that we haven't seen Burgos in his positive offensive moments, as he needs to get something going here in the top of the second. This one popped up in the infield on the right side. Macabrota at first is under it for out number 1. That'll bring up the 9 spot in Josh Roberts, the shortstop, switch hitter, a lone switch hitter on Jared Lemieux's Alberta Grizzly. 1 for 4 against the Bombers and only 4 hits on the season, including obviously one of them against the Bombers. He swings and misses at a fastball that tails away from him, batting from the left side in this at-bat. 3-1 Alberta Grizzly. The Grizzly with a 2-run lead, trying to add some here in the second inning with 1 out. The 0-1 is on the ground towards the right side. It's fair. Macabrota picks it up. Josh Roberts speeding down a hard 90, but misses it as Macabrota almost loses it. It's out number 2 recorded there, and that's what you get out of Josh Roberts. He's going to give you those hard 90s. He's going to give it his all, like every game is his last. Props to him. As he heads back to the dugout, it's the leadoff man, Davey Morgan, who struck out swinging to kick things off in this contest. He'll take strike 1 over the heart of the plate. Minagawa, some great velo today, sitting in the upper 80s. He's got an 0-1 count on Davey Morgan. He misses high. It's a 1-1 count on the newest signee to the Lake Erie Crushers. So regardless of what happens in today's game and for the next couple, potentially for the Alberta Grizzly, he will remain with Jared Lemieux as he heads to Avon for the summer. Avon, Ohio. The next pitch misses on a breaking ball low. It's a 2-1 count to Davey Morgan. Minagawa comes set at the hat. The 2-1 misses outside on an off speed there. A changeup tried to take something off of it, but falls behind 3-1. A chance for a clean inning by Minagawa, putting up the first 0 on the board. Next pitch fouled back into the screen. Looking up and around is Collins behind the plate. He doesn't find it as it's well behind him. The second strike. Now Davey Morgan at risk of becoming the third out. Minagawa delivers the 3-2. Misses up and in, the first walk of the game from Minagawa, the second free base. Keeps this inning alive for Andrew Gravdahl, who got things started with a one-out double to right center. Came around to score one of the 3 runs that the Alberta Grizzly have in this 3-1 lead over the British Columbia Bombers currently in the top of the second. He takes strike 1. Gravdahl quickly behind 0-1. Popped over the Mendoza line for the first time all season yesterday, going 1-for-1 versus the Blue Sox on the backfield in that Grizzly loss that finished out their regular season. He swings and misses at strike 2. Again, Minagawa's fastball has some great downward movement. It looks like a straight fastball, a straight four-seam out of the hands, and just cuts low. The 0-2 is on the ground through the right side. Davey Morgan was already on the run. He heads around to third, safely standing with that single by Andrew Gravdahl, who's now 2-for-2 on the day. The Grizzly have runners at the corners for Scott Shaw here with 2 outs.
Yeah, perfect execution on the hit and run there with Morgan going right at the pitch. Gravdahl gets a slider downstairs, and he's on top of it, but a ground ball right through the hole into right field has runners on the corners for Scott Shaw.
Scott Shaw got hit by the pitch on an 0-2 count last time up. He takes the first pitch away for ball 1. 2 outs and a chance to tack on some insurance runs off of Takushi Minagawa. The Alberta Grizzly up by 2 here in the top of the second. Next pitch hits on the outside corner. Scott Shaw looks back and confirms with the umpire there for now what will be a 1-1 count on the Villanova product. Andrew Gravdahl with a sizable lead at first. Scott Shaw swings and misses at strike 2. Now Minagawa again a strike away for the third straight time to get out of this inning unscathed. Davey Morgan at third, Andrew Gravdahl at first. The 1-2. A half swing and a miss. He does go around, and that finishes out the inning, leaving 2 stranded for the Alberta Grizzly. They don't score, but they still have the 3-1 lead as we send it to the bottom of the second here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Bottom 2 and the first 0 on the board, courtesy of Takushi Minagawa, who gets the first 2 outs and then allows 2 on with runners at the corners and strikes out Scott Shaw for the third out. He's at 43 pitches through the first 2 innings. And now it'll be the Bombers to again try and chip away at what has become a 3-1 deficit in a winner-go-home game in this wild card round the 2025 California Winter League season. Joey Miller, Stephen Buxton, and 3 batters have yet to come up to the plate, and they will come up this inning in order. It'll be Bubba Thompson, Jaden Brown, and Mark Hernandez to face Matthew Maldonado, who gave up a run in the bottom of the first on an RBI single to Joshua Hoffman, allowed the first 2 Bombers aboard, and paid the price. Still only 1 hit, that being that RBI single by Joshua Hoffman, issued by Matthew Maldonado today. He'll try and get a mirror image or potentially better second inning of work like his counterpart Takushi Minagawa today. Sun kind of peeking in and out of the clouds, but still overall a kind of dull and gray day here at Palm Springs Stadium as Bubba Thompson fouls one into Sunrise Park on the first base side.
And Thompson, part of that surging middle of the Bombers lineup. Obviously, he's in the 7 hole right now, but he's 5 for his last 12, couple extra base hits there, couple RBIs. He's had a good week.
He stands in behind at an 0-1 count, and fouls it the same direction for strike 2. 1 for 2, including an RBI, like you mentioned, has a couple RBIs down the end of the regular season. 1 for 2 against the Grizzly. He had a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning, ended up becoming the insurance run that the Bombers needed to squeak by in that 2-1 victory last Friday. He takes a pitch up and in for ball 1. Last Friday, that game between these 2 teams when they last faced off. Thompson also pitched 3 innings of the first game between the Bombers and the Grizzly. He recorded the win as well as he hits this one softly up the middle. Josh Roberts spins and throws to first. Not in time, but a fantastic attempt from the Grizzly shortstop. An infield single for Bubba Thompson as he legs one out.
And Bubba Thompson, one of the bigger power threats in this Bombers lineup, doesn't need it there. 66 off the bat and just hustles it out for an infield single.
If that play was made, I might have had to submit that to the Sports Center top 10 folks. The way he ranged over to his left, spun the opposite direction of when a middle infielder really should be spinning on the glove side. He spun around on the opposite side and somehow managed to throw a strike down to first. He's lucky it didn't get past him as Jaden Brown takes ball 1 high. With a runner at first and nobody out here in the bottom of the second, the Bombers trail 3-1. Matthew Maldonado fires the next pitch that misses low, a check swing. They defer down to the first base umpire who says Brown did not go around, and now he's ahead 2-0.
Brown has struggled this season, 125 at the plate, but he did go 1 for 3 yesterday against China.
Just 2 of his 3 regular season hits were against China, as there's a throw over to first to check on Bubba Thompson. Just got his average into triple digits with that hit against China on the final day of their regular season. And like you mentioned, a 125 hitter. He has not faced the Alberta Grizzly yet up until this point. Pitch misses inside. Again, some good arm side run there from Matthew Maldonado as it's a 3-0 count on what has become a little bit brighter of a day. The morning gives way to the afternoon here on the Pacific Coast. The 3-0 hits for strike 1. Jaden Brown had tossed his bat into the on-deck circle and waited a good 2 Mississippis before the home plate umpire gave it a late strike 1 call. Runner at first and Bubba Thompson, nobody out. The Bombers trying to get some more runs on the board. They trail by 2. There's a swing and a miss. And from a 3-0 count to a 3-2 count, Jaden Brown is in the hot seat. Brown steps out of the box, takes a moment to himself, stretches a little bit, and the righty is back in the box, ready to get back to work for what will be a payoff pitch. Maldonado sits on it for a second and now issues that payoff pitch and misses inside. The runner was going towards second. He will slow down as there is a base 4 walk on a 3-2 count. The third walk of the day from Matthew Maldonado gets runners at first and second, but more importantly, the tying run at first base in the speedy Jaden Brown. Mark Hernandez comes up to the plate, but Jared Lemieux will take a moment to have a chat with Matthew Maldonado. And just now, there's an arm in the pen. It's number 37. It's going to be Luke Payne, who has started in a couple games so far. He's a Session 2 guy. And he really held down the fort on the backfield in the game that I witnessed his last outing, retiring the first 9 in a row. That'll be who he goes to just in case things get too out of hand. Jared Lemieux allows Matthew Maldonado to take the mound here, still with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Mark Hernandez getting ready to take his first at-bat of the playoff season. 1 for 7 in those 2 games against the Alberta Grizzly. 3 strikeouts, a hit by pitch, and a stolen base. He's a perfect Mendoza line hitter. He shows bunt early as he gets it foul down the third base side. Falls behind for strike 1. Trying to take a page out of Team China's book, who did not do well with the bunt game today in the morning game, where Team China fell to the Canada A's in their final game of the regular season. And they dropped down to the 2 seed heading into the playoffs. Canada A's now the champion of the regular season. The 0-1 count to Hernandez, breaks outside, misses. They check down to first on a quarter swing by Mark Hernandez. It's a 1-1 count.
And you mentioned that we saw China yesterday against the Bombers. They started to slug to begin the game, but towards the late innings, pulled out the bunts, they pulled out the hit and runs, all of your prototypical China small ball. Today, I think for the first time, they popped out on a bunt. I think that's the first time all season.
Good point there, as there's a spin throw back to second. Coming in was Morgan to save that pickoff attempt for Bubba Thompson, who gets back standing. Maldonado just trying to break up the tension right now, or maybe add some tension for Mark Hernandez in hopes of trying to get the first out of the bottom of the second here. The 1-1 misses outside for ball 2. In a winner-go-home game like this for Matthew Maldonado, this is the inning where he needs to stay strong, as his team still has the 3-1 lead over the British Columbia Bombers with the tying run at first. Maldonado gets ready for the 2-1. This one's sent in the air just over our heads here in the press box. That'll fall out of play for strike 2. 3 batters faced in the second inning for Matthew Maldonado, both of which have come to a 2-strike count. Has yet to put away one. Maldonado gathers a sign from Anthony Burgos, his battery mate. Now fires the 2-2. A big swing and a miss there as he just waves at that one. There's a big strikeout for Matthew Maldonado. Gets out number 1 and sends back the top of the lineup.
Maldonado's done a good job of changing the eye level so far today. He's been working with that high 80s fastball upstairs, and then right there after a couple of them up high to Hernandez, drops in a curveball 72 miles an hour right below the knees.
So it'll be Elijah Dickerson who led things off in the bottom of the first. He takes a breaking ball low and inside for ball 1. With runners at first and second, he took a walk and came around to score on the RBI single from the guy on deck, Joshua Hoffman, putting up their only run of the day in this 3-1 deficit. The 1-0. Misses low, a nice block there by Burgos to prevent both runners from advancing, getting one more into scoring position potentially. But Maldonado falls behind 2-0. Elijah Dickerson worked up the count. It was an 8-pitch walk. Back in the bottom of the first. Already behind 2-0 to Dickerson. The fastball hits on the outside corner. Just tries to dot the zone there. And now it's a 2-1 count on Dickerson. Trying to take the place of the typical leadoff hitter, Doriel Beck. Both runners flinch towards a double steal, but stay for the ball that misses outside. And now a hitter's count, 3-1 for Elijah Dickerson. When Maldonado's breaking ball isn't working, he'll try and go back to that fastball and just try and hit the zone. Here's a 3-1 count. We'll see if he goes back to it. 3-1 is a fastball, but it misses up and away. And now the bases are loaded with the second walk of the inning, the fourth of the day for Maldonado, and that's going to do it for Maldonado. It'll be bases loaded and 1 out for a precarious situation for Luke Payne, who will come into the game. We'll tell you more about him. When we come back, the Grizzly hold the 3-1 lead, but in danger right now in the bottom of the second here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Sending it back here in the bottom of the second. And in early trouble already is the Grizzly pitching staff. Matthew Maldonado finishes his day on the mound, going 1 1/3, and getting himself into a 1-out, bases-loaded situation from 2 walks and a leadoff single to Bubba Thompson. The British Columbia Bombers are behind 3-1, but their tying run is at second base. Their go-ahead run is at first base in Elijah Dickerson. A lot of speed on the base paths. And with this new pitcher on the mound, it's a righty in Luke Payne, a Session 2 guy coming into his 3rd appearance on the 2025 California Winter League season. He's faced off against the Bombers in 2 innings in a relief appearance on the backfield. And in those 2 innings, he kept it clean and faced the minimum. Had an excellent start against the Canada A's on the backfield as well in his last appearance on Saturday. He took the loss, but going 4 innings and the first 3 of them perfect against the A's is nothing short of shaking a stick at there for the West Virginia native, who comes all the way out to the West Coast for the first time and gets put into a sticky situation against Joshua Hoffman, who gets this one on the ground to the second baseman Morgan, who flips on to Roberts at second, on to first, not in time. The fielder's choice scores a run in Bubba Thompson, and it's a 1-run ball game, 3-2 now for the British Columbia Bombers, and their best hitter coming to the plate.
Great job by Joshua Hoffman, able to get a pitch off the plate, just off the end of the bat. He puts it in play, and that's all that really matters. And for the Grizzly, You just got to concede the run right there. You still got a lead, but they just needed an out.
The leadoff hit from Bubba Thompson comes around to score. Jaden Brown now at third with runners at the corners for Davis Druick, who takes the first pitch in the dirt. It kicks away from Burgos. Coming in to score on the wild pitch is Brown, and this game is tied here in the bottom of the second. The wild pitch also advances Joshua Hoffman to second base. It is 3-all with 2 outs here for Luke Payne.
That's exactly what the Grizzly couldn't happen. It looked like, I think Burgos was crossed up there. It didn't look like he was ready for what pitch was coming, and the rare bad miscue, he had no idea where the ball was when it hit off of him.
Now a 1-0 count, trying to get back into action and just shake it off. He misses low again for ball 2. The go-ahead run is now in scoring position for the British Columbia Bombers, who have just powered back after falling behind 3-0 in the top of the first. Payne trying to hold the line at 3-0. The 2-0 to Druick. Hits in the zone on a changeup for strike 1. Druick, one of the 2 strikeout victims from Matthew Maldonado. Another great off-speed that moves away from the lefty. He swings and misses for strike 2. 1 strike away from holding the line is Luke Payne. Joshua Hoffman takes his lead at second. Luke Payne comes set. Luke Payne delivers the 2-2. Misses below the knees, and we have a full count with 2 outs here. A strikeout and a fielder's choice have been the only 2 outs this inning, as the Bombers have scored 2 and tied up the game. The 3-2 swung on and missed. Druick goes down on strikes again. Uncharacteristic day for the power 3 spot. And that ends the inning, leaving the go-ahead run stranded. But the British Columbia Bombers are back in this game. After 2, it's 3-3 in this wild card game between the Bombers and the Grizzly. When we come back in the top of the third, we will see if the Grizzly can respond here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection, and an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyriq. Silent power, bold performance. Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
We're through 2, and the British Columbia Bombers have tied it at 3 apiece with a big 2-run inning off of Matthew Maldonado, who ends his day after 1 1/3 inning. And for the Grizzlies' response, potentially in the 3rd inning, I send it over for the next couple innings to give me a break, is Stephen Buxton.
Brendan Dolbatian up first, takes a fastball at the top of the zone for ball one. And Joey, it's been a great game so far, 3-3 back and forth. And we're back at square one. Bombers with a run in the first, 2 in the second, and they're back out there trying to put up a 0 as that fastball down low is hit foul behind us in the press box. 1-1 now. Takushi Minagawa out for his third inning of work. 44 pitches through the first 2 innings. He's got himself in and out of trouble, did a solid job bouncing back in the second inning, putting up a 0 as the 1-1 pitch is fouled back again. It's 1-2 now. 1-2, no outs. Tie game here in the wild card game. Both teams, the 6 and 7 seed, trying to find themselves a spot in the quarterfinals.
Really interesting to see the big hitters on both sides not making an appearance yet today offensively. Dolbatian being one of them with the strikeout back in the first.
1-2 to Dolbatian, and there's another one. Swing and a miss at a curveball at the bottom of the zone. Dolbatian down on 5 pitches.
Uncharacteristic for Dolbatian, now 0 for 2, but now a chance to pick up where he held the line and gave up the lead is Matthew Maldonado.
He'll send it over to the Maldonado, who stays in that designated hitter spot using the Shohei Ohtani rule. He started the game on the mound but has been replaced by Luke Payne. Maldonado responsible for all 3 runs after a fastball is called strike 1 at the bottom of the zone. He fouls that one off to the left field side. It's 0-2 now. Maldonado had a 2 RBI single and scored in the first inning where they jumped all over Minagawa. Minagawa, it's his fastball, curveball, slider, changeup combination. 0-2 pitch, fastball runs outside. 1-2, and it's one of the more live arms in the league. We've seen that the fastball, it's got some run, it's got some downward movement on it, but it can get him into trouble. He tends to miss his spots at times. 1-2 pitch, chopped off the hand, straight to Hernandez. Throw down to first. Just gets Maldonado in time.
Close play there, but props to Maldonado for, again, running the hard 90. As we mentioned throughout the beginning of this broadcast, tomorrow is not promised for both of these teams, and they're definitely feeling the weight in this close game here in the top of the third.
Top of the third, 3-3 right now, 2 outs, and Matthew Fabian stepping up, draws that one up the middle. It's going to get past a hustling Bubba Thompson into center field. 2 out single for Fabian, and now it's A.J. Carosis coming up. And you said it, Maldonado was hustling down the first base line, didn't take anything for granted, and we've seen what they can do over the last 24 hours. Yesterday, the Chill broke it open against the A's off of what was essentially just a series of pure hustle plays as the first pitch to Carosis as a fastball outside. They had 2 outs in the second inning, and with 2 runners on, Nick Chusano hit a pop fly above the infield that fell to the dirt. Jarrett Burney was running all the way and scored on that play as that one's chopped straight to Macabrota at first base, and he'll do it himself for the 3rd out. A quick inning for Minagawa. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. Tie game here in Palm Springs. Bottom of the third here in Palm Springs. Bombers trying to break the tie after they put up 2 in the bottom of the second. Luke Payne out for his second inning of work. He finished up the second, got 2 outs, a fielder's choice by Joshua Hoffman, and he struck out Davis Druick after Matthew Maldonado could only take the Grizzly an inning and a third. He's accounted for all 3 runs, so still a clean slate for Luke Payne, but it's a tall task. Heart of the Bombers lineup coming up. Nolan Macabrota, Howie Hatton, Mason Collins in that order. Macabrota 0 for 1, flew out to right field, and he'll get his first hacks against the righty Luke Payne. 11-pitch inning for Takushi Minagawa after the 2-spot put up by the Bombers. A good 0 for them, and he's been relatively efficient, 54 through 3 innings. As that first pitch fastball's in the dirt, it pops up. Burgos runs after it and throws it back.
Yeah, Payne's just really been missing low, and his last couple outings were out on the backfield where you can do that with that backstop that pops it right back to Burgos. But on this field, you really can't.
1-0 pitch, half-hearted check swing right there, and it just gets the barrel and fouls it off over towards the concession stand. It's 1-1 now, and you said it, on that backfield, the backstop is maybe 8 feet behind home plate as the 1-1 pitch drops in there for ball 2. And here you got a good 20 feet behind home plate in every direction. Anything that gets past the catcher is serious trouble.
Well, I mean, this is a former big league spring training facility.
2-1 pitch is outside again, 3-1. Payne has fallen behind the number 4 hitter, Macabrota. A dangerous one to fall behind. He's got a ton of pop in that bat. 3-1 pitch. Caught on and missed. He was on top of the breaking ball there, and looks like it hit Burgos there. He's going to take a second to collect himself.
Yeah, it looks like it clipped his inner thigh there on his left side. He was rubbing it, but he seems to be okay as he pops up to his standing position, grabs his mask, and gets ready for the next time he has to go down on his knees to crouch.
Home plate umpire slowly walks out, hands the new ball to Luke Payne, and slowly makes his way back to the plate, giving Burgos some time to collect himself. But here we are for the payoff pitch. No outs, tie game, bottom of the third inning. And that one's outside, ball 4. First walk of the day for Payne. Another one to the tally for the Bombers. That's already their 5th today. Howie Hatton coming up.
And the walks are really what hurt them the last inning. And, you get to this part of the lineup, not necessarily the fastest guys in the lineup. Macabrota is not a stolen base threat, but you never want to have somebody on with nobody out. Payne needs to get out of it quick.
And that's the situation for Payne as he throws in a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone for strike 1 to Hatton, who's one of those five guys with a walk today. Walked in the first inning on a full count before Mason Collins flew out to left field. Here he is with no outs and a runner on first. That one almost gets by Burgos. Another curveball just breaking out of the zone. Payne already leaning on his breaking stuff in this outing. He's thrown a couple fastballs this inning, but we've seen a lot of those pitches low in the zone, around 70 to 74. 1-1 offering is a fastball at the edge of the zone for strike 2.
And he's keeping it kind of at the knees, just trying to induce a ground ball, trying to get these guys to swing on top of a lot of these breaking balls. It's tempting to kind of dip your shoulder, but if they're trying to punch it through a side, they can try and induce a ground ball, and it would benefit the Grizzly.
1-2 pitch, and that's not a ground ball. He pops it way high up above center field. Andrew Grovdahl can't be under it and collects the first out. And you said it, though. It's a lot of breaking stuff down in the zone, some fastballs at the bottom of the zone that Luke Payne is trying to induce ground balls to a lineup we've seen have a lot of pop. Again, they led the league in home runs this season. And Mason Collins trying to add an RBI to his tally. He's got 1 out and a runner on first in Macabrota. Collins 0 for 1 today. First pitch, he's going to have to wait on it as a pickoff move to first base, but Macabrota's back in time. Just checking on the runner, trying to shorten up that lead a little bit, even though Macabrota is not necessarily a stolen base threat. With 1 out, the first pitch from Payne. Collins swings over a curveball over the heart of the plate. It's 0-1.
And, you know, not a lot of time to get integrated with a system. Only 4 games played prior with this organization to this at-bat here.
Liner up the middle, chopper fielded by Roberts down to Morgan to first, and they got 2. 6-4-3 twin killing puts the Bombers down in order. We'll be back for the 4th here in Palm Springs. It's tied at 3. We're through 3 here in Palm Springs, and we're tied at 3. Takushi Minagawa at 55 pitches, trying to cruise through this Grizzly lineup, but right now he's got to get through the bottom of it. Anthony Burgos and Josh Roberts, 8 and 9 due up. Then he'll turn it over to Davey Morgan, the number 1 hitter and second baseman. Jared Lemieux's newest player for his Lake Erie Crushers. He's 0 for 1, but he's walked and reached third base on his 2 attempts. But first it'll be Burgos in his second time around. Minagawa, we've seen him with the electric fastball, the curveball and slider have been there. It's just the fact that he's allowed some free bases, which has been really his Achilles heel this season.
Yeah, and he's typically gone 4, maybe 4+ innings, but he's never gotten to getting through 5 innings, so it's likely that we see his last big inning here. He'll obviously want to get out of it quickly. 54 pitches so far on the day through the first 3 innings, but the prior half frame should be pointed out that Luke Payne with the 1-2-3, or facing the minimum, I should say, the quickest inning in 12 pitches, the only time that nobody has been left on base in any frame.
Minagawa working out of the stretch, fires a fastball at the top of the zone for strike 1, and it's been a pretty quick game over the last couple innings. Minagawa and Payne exchanging quick ones there as that one slashed out to center field. Dickerson ranges over and it gets that one for a 2-pitch first out. Josh Roberts coming up now, and again, with the season on the line and with Minagawa having been stretched out to 4 innings before, he's done it a handful of times. It's a question of whether or not Aaron Miles will trust him for a 5th or 6th if he can get through this one quickly. Josh Roberts fouls a fastball off his hands.
Narrowly misses a fan there.
Narrowly missed a fan just a day after yesterday. It was practically a meteor shower into the stands. Both teams between the A's and Chill were hitting absolute rockets over there, and it's 0-1 to Josh Roberts. A 1 pitch is upstairs, a fastball at 86. Collins had to stick the glove up for it. It's 1-1 now. Roberts just saw 2 pitches his last time out. Grounded out to Nolan Macabrota at first base. 1-1 pitch going right back to him there. It's 1-2 now.
Yeah, you always got to be aware here at Palm Springs Stadium. Yesterday I saw a fan look up and try and catch a baseball, but it clocked him right between the eyes. Wearing sunglasses, it knocked him off and provided a hefty welt on his head. We provided him some ice here.
1-2 pitch. That one's slashed to shortstop. Bubba Thompson with the throw to first in time to get him.
Both times by Josh Roberts, hustling it out, his helmet flying off his head. It looks like a track athlete getting up the line there, but still now 0 for 2 on the day.
And back to, we were talking about how the Chill basically hustled their way to a win yesterday. After that Chusano pop fly debacle that had Jarrett Burney scoring, Ethan Roberts came up, hit a ball into center field as that one's driven into deep left field, going back on it. Jaden Brown collects it for the third out. Davey Morgan goes down in another 1-2-3 inning. We'll be back for the bottom of the fourth here in Palm Springs, tied at 3.
Hello, Power Baseball fans. At SBMP Attorneys, we believe in the power of community. And that's why we proudly support the Palm Springs Power, our hometown baseball team. After a memorable championship season in 2024, capping off the team's 20th anniversary, we're all very excited about the 2025 Power team. SBMP Attorneys and the Palm Springs Power are two teams that are committed to excellence, community, and the spirit of winning. We'll see you all at the ballpark.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Bottom of the fourth here in Palm Springs. We've traded 3 straight zeros. It's 3-3. Here the Grizzly out there on the mound to Luke Payne to face Bubba Thompson, Jaden Brown, Mark Hernandez, the bottom of the Bombers lineup. And so far so good for Luke Payne. He's allowed just the 1 run, but that wasn't on his account. The run's being charged to Matthew Maldonado, the starter, who's charged with all 3 runs so far. Only damage again against Luke Payne was an RBI fielder's choice by Josh Hoffman. Since then, he's retired the rest of them in order on just 19 pitches. A quick last inning for Takushi Minagawa, though. A ground out, 2 flyouts, just 7 pitches to get 8, 9, and 1 in the Bombers order. And right now, Luke Payne trying to match that.
Yeah, just right about averaging 4 to 5 pitches in each out that he's recorded so far. And what he needs to work on right now is keeping it out of the dirt, especially if he allows a runner on, preventing those balls from getting past his backstop, Burgos. Just trying to find the zone, keeping it low, obviously, but not letting it get past his backstop for at least Anthony Burgos' sake.
Bubba Thompson 1 for 1, had a cue shot single up the middle for his first hit of the day, and that one's another one right there, right off the end of the bat. Little blooper straight to Luke Payne, who fires it down to first for 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, a half swing that he did not want to go around on, and now he's regretting as it found the barrel there, and he had to leg something out a little bit late as it went into fair grounds.
The 2 balls Bubba's put into play today don't even equal the exit speed if you combine the 2 of Nolan Macabrota's home run the other day. Just a shade over 100 as the first pitch to Jaden Brown is ball 1 downstairs. Brown walked in his first at-bat, had thought he got it on the 3-0 pitch as that one's outside for ball 2. Was already throwing his stuff back to the dugout. It took a couple seconds, and then our home plate umpire gave him a delayed strike 1 call. No harm, no foul, though. Took his walk 2 pitch later. And he's ahead 3-0 once again on 3 straight fastballs by Luke Payne. Brown and Thompson both scored in the second inning. And it's 3-3 now. 3-0 count, 1 out. Luke Payne against Jaden Brown. Strike one at the bottom of the zone. And how we got there, 3 runs in the first inning as the Grizzly jumped all over Takushi Minagawa. One at the bottom of the frame for the Bombers, 3-1 pitch. Called for strike 2 down the middle, and the count is full now. After the run in the bottom of the first, nothing but zeros from Bombers pitching since, 2 in the bottom of the second, have us tied at 3. Payoff pitch from Luke Payne to Brown. And he lifts that one foul down the right field line, and a trio of fielders giving chase, but no one's going to come up with it as Davey Morgan crashes into the fence there. It'll go foul over towards the right field batting cages, and we'll do the payoff count again.
For the Bombers, their designated first base coach today will be Jordan Hankey, it looks like, standing over there at first base.
Hankey at first, Miles at third, 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. 1-out walk for Jaden Brown, his second of the day.
Again, really struggling with the free bases. For Luke Payne, that's his second, and now that's the 6th of the day between the first 2 pitchers for the Alberta Grizzly.
Mark Hernandez looking for his first hit in a couple days. He's 0 for 1 here. He struck out on 5 pitches in the second. 1 out and Jaden Brown on first. Facing off against Luke Payne for his first time. Righty-righty matchup. Payne turns and fires down to first. Jaden Brown sliding in safely. No attempt at a tag from Braden Dolbatian. Barring a double play, it'll be Elijah Dickerson in the top of the Bombers lineup coming up after Mark Hernandez. First pitch swinging at a curveball at the bottom of the zone. It's 0-1 now.
Hernandez just really wanting to make an impression. Obviously, you have to in a winner-go-home game. 0 for 1 coming into this at-bat, but only his 6th game with the Bombers. Rounding out the bottom of the lineup. He wants to bolster this bottom of the lineup and try and get this go-ahead run.
0-1 pitch, and he drives that one high in the air above center field again. Gravdahl camping under it, and he'll catch it for the second out. 2 outs for Elijah Dickerson, who's walked twice today. Him and Brown have 4 of the 6 walks for the Bombers today, and Dickerson just trying to get something to hit here. 2 outs, a runner on first for a real power threat in this lineup. Left-handed Dickerson was the last batter that Matthew Maldonado faced, and he drives that one into deep center field, going back on it, and that's going to get over Gravdahl's head. Brown will score. Going into second is Dickerson, and it's an RBI double. Bombers take the lead, 4-3.
That's huge right there. Dickerson is the guy that Payne did not want to face, but had to after the walk to Jaden Brown, and it comes around to bite him. And just like that, for the first time today, the Bombers have taken the lead in the wild card game.
And even better for them, they've got another speedy runner on second, Elijah Dickerson, the center fielder today, as Joshua Hoffman steps up to the plate. Hoffman 1 for 2, but has 2 RBIs on the day, looking for a third. Up 1 now as the Bombers have broken the tie here in the wild card game. Bottom of the 4th inning, it is 4-3 now after a curveball at the top of the zone is strike 1 against Hoffman. 0-1 pitch, Payne set and fires. Downstairs, ball 1. Try to get the fastball at the knees, but just a couple inches low. It's 1-1 here. 2 outs, 4-3 game. Bottom of the 4th inning. Dickerson at second base, Hoffman at the plate. Look back at Dickerson twice and deals, and that one's fouled back. He was late on the fastball there.
And with this new lead for the Bombers, they're just going to get an arm warmed up in the pen. It's Jason Leone, just in case Payne gets into any more trouble here with 2 outs.
It's looking like Takushi Minagawa will go out for the next inning. He's been tossing on the over by the dugout. 1-2 pitch. That one's lifted and driven into center field. Going back on it is Gravdahl, and he'll have a play on it for the third out, but not before the Bombers take the lead. It's 4-3 going into the fifth here in Palm Springs.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Good things come in threes, like our eat, drink, and play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 19.99s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's eat, drink, and play combo for just $19.99.
We're through 4 here in Palm Springs, and for the fifth, Takushi Minagawa will go into the fifth for the second time this season. His third start of 4 or more innings, or his fourth start. His last 3 have been 4 1/3, 4 flat, and 4 flat each, and he's been fantastic in each, and so far today, so good. He's got a 1-run lead now after the Bombers have come all the way back after the Grizzly tagged him for 3 in the first.
And for Minagawa, he's really been getting better as he's moved along in this game. Obviously, the 1-2-3-7 pitch inning in the fourth is a testament of that. 61 pitches in 4 innings could be worked on. Obviously, that's what's going to happen when you throw 20 or more in the first 2. But now that he's working with some positive momentum, he's got the lead. He's got to get a big 0 here in the top of the fifth.
And you said it, though, 24 pitches in the first inning, 20 in the second. Since then, he's really calmed it down. Just 18 in the last 2, and the first pitch strike against Andrew Gravdahl starts Minagawa out ahead. No movement really in the Bombers' bullpen. They've got one man standing around over there with some J-bands, but no one warming up right now, and a curveball at the bottom of the zone falls in the dirt for ball 1 against Gravdahl, who's 2 for 2 so far. Has 2 of the 5 hits for the Grizzly, a double in the first, a single in the second. Here he is in the fifth, 1-1 pitch. Liner right at Macabrota. He'll take it himself. 1 out here in the fifth. Teams both playing for their lives right now. Here in the wild card game, it's the 6 and 7 seed playing for a date with the Chill tomorrow. Scott Shaw steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1, got hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored. Struck out in the second. Here he is in the fifth. And first pitch by Minagawa. Cut on and missed, 87 outside. 1 out, 4-3 Bombers lead here in the top of the fifth. On deck is Braden Dolbatian. Matthew Maldonado will follow him up. But first, it's the left-handed Scott Shaw. And he drives that one into right center field. Going back on it is Dickerson. And he'll make an incredible diving catch. Elijah Dickerson doing it all lately. Saves extra bases from Scott Shaw. We've got 2 outs in the fifth.
That is a massive play, because had that gotten past him, that would have rolled to the wall, maybe caromed away from the right fielder Joshua Hoffman. With the speed of Shaw, he might have even gotten to third. And in such a tight contest, that is a game-saving play potentially.
2 outs, and the first pitch to Dolbatian is lifted high in the air to right field. Much easier for Josh Hoffman, who collects it. And we're through 5 here, going to the bottom of the fifth. It'll be Davis Druick, Nolan Macabrota, and Howie Hatton due up trying to extend a one-run lead. It's 4-3 Bombers. We'll be right back.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Bottom of the fifth here in Palm Springs after an incredible diving catch to rob Scott Shaw of extra bases. The Bombers' leadoff man, Elijah Dickerson, doing it all today. But right now it's the middle of their lineup up against a new arm. Luke Payne out, Jason Leone in. And he'll face off against Davis Druick, Nolan Macabrota, and Howie Hatton. And Takushi Minagawa, how he has saved this outing so far. Struggled to get through the first two on 44 pitches and a couple single-digit pitch innings to follow that up. And right now it's Davis Druick leading off the inning.
For Jason Leone, his last appearance was against the Bombers. He threw 3 clean innings, only 2 hits allowed, and that's who Jared Lemieux is going to trust to get him through the next couple after Luke Payne gave up the go-ahead in the prior inning. Jason Leone, typically an infielder slash pitcher, but has been really doing some great work from the mound as of late.
Yeah, a 2 flat ERA in 4 appearances. This is 5th, 7 innings. He's been really good out of the bullpen for Jared Lemieux's squad as ball 1 is outside a fastball to Davis Druick. Druick 0 for 2 today. The uncharacteristic trend from the big hitters in these two lineups, Dolbashian and Druick 0 for 2, as that might have hit him there, and no, it just skipped past him. 2-0, but Druick and Dolbashian combining 0 for 4 with 4 Ks between the two of them. Druick trying to change it here against Leone. 2-0 pitch. Can't find the zone there. It's 3-0 against the 3-hole hitter for the Bombers. Nolan Macabrota on deck. Howie Hatton in the hole. And a 1-run lead for Aaron Miles' squad as a fastball at the bottom of the zone is rung up for strike 1. Lefty-righty matchup here. Leone working out of the windup, kicks and fires, and that one's hit way up in the air above Davey Morgan. Running in on it, Matthew Fabian comes to call him off and take the catch for the first out. That one was hit a mile in there.
And without the sun in the air, it's a bit easier to track these balls down, but in my experience in the outfield, potentially I'm unique in this case, sometimes if there's a ball that has a lot of dirt on it, it can kind of blend into this kind of scene of gray and white in the sky. So props to Fabian for staying on it as it fell down into his glove.
An uncharacteristically gloomy day here in Palm Springs, and Joe, you know a whole lot more about these clouds than I do, as the first pitch to Nolan Macabrota is called a strike 1. We usually don't see weather around here. It's almost always blue skies and sunny and about 75 in the winter. A little colder today. 0-1 pitch. Chopper up the middle, fielded by Roberts. Throw down to first, and we've got 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, like you said, we kind of promise all this sun, and we did get a good full week of weather around the 80s, but as of late, actually, the weather is what's caused this wild card game to take place right now on Wednesday. It was supposed to take place tomorrow, but with the forecast of rain, had to be pushed to today.
2 outs, and the first pitch to Howie Hatton is outside for ball 1. Leon trying to put up a 0, needs it right here. Jared Lemieux and Aaron Miles' squads both battling for their lives today. Last day of the season, first day of the playoffs, and that one's scooped in there. Going back on it is Gravdal, and that's going to go off the bottom of the wall. Jogging into second, Howie Hatton with a 2-out double.
That's how you stay alive in such a tight contest. The Bombers trying to add some insurance here. A 1-run lead is not comfortable in any league that you play in.
Again, it's 4-3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and both teams trying to claw themselves into the main playoffs right now, the wild card game. And they're playing for a chance to play against the chill, as we've got a pause and play as Takushi Minagawa, who is still throwing over by the Bombers' dugout. One must have got away from his catch partner and into right field.
Yeah, just playing some catch with Caden Chichura, who hasn't played since a shallow injury that has prevented him from playing.
First pitch to Collins gets away from Burgos. The wild pitch allows Howie Hatton to advance 90 feet. A runner on third and 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Again, a date with the chill on the line tomorrow morning in the quarterfinals. 1-0 against Mason Collins. Jason Leone trying to put up a 0. Takushi Minagawa has done that 4 times in a row. And it's outside for ball 2. Again, Minagawa got tagged up for 3 in the 1st inning, but since then, the Grizzlies' offense has fallen asleep. He's worked himself in and out of a couple jams early on, but it's been smooth sailing the last couple innings. 2-0 pitch. Caught on and fouled back. It's 2-1 now. Two and one. Howie Hatton on third. Mason Collins at the plate. Leone bent over, gets the sign, gets set, and fires. Fouled back again. It's 2-2.
And you really want to roll off of a really big double like that for Howie Hatton. Getting one all the way to the wall. That was 387 feet, by the way. As he's at third, you want to get something to snowball here, even if it is just 1 strike away.
2-2 pitch outside, and the count is full.
Really put the pressure on Jason Leone. Mason Collins trying to start something here for the Bombers, who have the lead.
3-2 pitch. Cut on and missed, and Leone got out of it. Strike 3 sends Mason Collins packing, and we're through 5 here. Bombers with the 4-3 lead in the wild card game.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like our Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 19.99s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection in an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, It all starts at stuffed.
We're through 5 here in Palm Springs. Takushi Minagawa through 5 innings, out for his 6th. And he'll face off against a Grizzly lineup that's down 1. Stephen Buxton, Joey Miller here in the wild card game, trying for a spot in the playoffs against the Chill. And we'll throw back to Joey for the final 2 innings.
Thank you, Stephen. Good work. As we get ready to close out the book, the final couple of innings, the dawn looming on one of these two teams. One advances to the quarterfinals on Friday. The other one says goodbye to the 2025 campaign. And like you mentioned, Takushi Minagawa, absolutely excellent. 67 pitches he's at right now through the first 5 innings of work. This is his longest appearance by over an inning at this point, or at least if he records a couple outs, it will officially be an inning over his longest appearance of the season. He'll face Maldonado, who started today on the mound against him, has since left and stayed in the DH spot. He fouls one back on the first pitch, fastball, for strike 1. And for Takushi Minagawa, he has retired the past 7 in a row. Past 2 innings have combined for 13 pitches. And that's really how you can build momentum for your team in a winner-go-home game. As the next pitch is fouled back into the screen for strike 2. Maldonado falls behind 0-2. He's 1 for 2 on the day so far. He got the big 2 RBI single back in the first, part of the 3 runs that came across the plate and gave the Grizzly an early lead that they let up in the bottom of the second. Maldonado powers another one back to the backstop. Stays alive at 0-2.
Minagawa probably knows this is the end of the line for him. You can hear him grunting, giving it his all for this last inning for the Bombers.
He's still hitting some nice velo at around 88 miles per hour. The 0-2 falls in short, below the knees and outside for ball 1. A little action in the pen right now for the British Columbia Bombers. Appears to be Noah Cole, one of the newcomers, a righty. The 1-2 misses inside. Maldonado picks himself up from an 0-2. Now a 2-2 count. Nobody on and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Just a few outs to work with the Bombers in charge 4-3 in this wild card game. The 2-2. A breaking ball misses outside, does not get the break he wanted. As now the count goes to 3-2. After doing such a great job getting ahead of the count, getting Maldonado to swing under those pitches and just skimming it with his bat. Here's the payoff pitch. It's on the ground on a couple hops, backhanded by Macabrota at first. He flips on to first. It actually hits Maldonado right in the rib cage. He's safe as the ball gets away, but they'll have to check on Maldonado, who's picked up by Minagawa and the first base coach of the day, Kevin Consolazio. He stands up. He appears to be fine. It's an unfortunate throw over. And that should be an error, yes, on Macabrota. That gets the leadoff man aboard on Minagawa.
Pretty scary play, a difficult play for Macabrota over there at first. He had to range over to his left, get the ball, and immediately fire it down because Matthew Maldonado was just zooming down the line and practically on top of Minagawa there. He threw it where basically the only chance he could get it there, just as fast as possible. Minagawa and Maldonado collide, and thankfully Maldonado looks like he'll be okay.
Jared Lemieux came over to check on him immediately after the play concluded, and Aaron Miles used that time to check in on Minagawa without having to use a mound visit. The pitch misses inside for ball 1 on Matthew Fabian, who finally allows a pitch to reach the glove of Collins. It's been first pitch singles for him, an RBI back in the first. He's 2 for 2 coming into this at-bat right now. making his presence known. He gets one on the ground. It kicks away from Bubba Thompson. Maldonado charging towards third, slides in, and he is safe. Druick does not like the call as the single allows Fabian to get runners at the corners and still nobody out. Here in the top of the sixth, the tying run now at third for the Alberta Grizzly.
Just a brutal hop for Bubba Thompson there. He was on time and goes down for it, and it just kicks up right into his face and gets away from him. Good job by Matthew Maldonado going first to third there on the errant ball.
Now this is where things get interesting. As we're here in the later part of this game, Minagawa trying to hold the line with the lead intact. The pitch hits for strike one. No throw down to second base as Matthew Fabian gets into scoring position on what will be an 0-1 count on A.J. Carosis.
Carosis before this inning was the only batter to even reach base against Minagawa after the second.
Pitch misses away on the fastball. It's a 1-1 count. The go-ahead run for the Alberta Grizzly is now in scoring position. The infield has been drawn in. The outfielders also ranging in to try and cut the go-ahead run as the next pitch is fouled towards the concession stand on the third base side. It's a 2-strike count with 1 ball on A.J. Carosis, who's on a 4-game hitless streak heading into the playoffs. He does lead the team in walks. He has 8 on the regular season, otherwise went 5 for 25. As he gets this one through the right side, that'll score. Maldonado. Being held at third is Fabian as the throw relays in. This game is tied at 4 on the accord of A.J. Carosis and an RBI single. Runners back at the corners. It will be Anthony Burgos with still nobody out here in the top of the sixth. This is a whole new ball game, folks.
Carosis has been struggling lately, but Lemieux keeping him in that lineup. He'd been so steady for them all season and comes through when they need him most.
First pitch is popped up, goes back foul over the net. First strike one on Burgos, who's 0 for 2 coming into this at-bat. It's popped out to first base and center field. In his first 2 at-bats, he has a chance to punch the go-ahead run that stands at first, represented by Matthew Fabian. The next pitch is also fouled, this time through the right side and out of play. Now behind 0-2. Fabian at third, A.J. Carosis at first. It is 4-all in this win-or-go-home playoff game. A.J. Carosis heading down towards second on a stolen base attempt. He trips over the bag. He gets there safely. The runner stays at the runner stays at third. Now 2 in scoring position on a pitch that missed for ball 1. Minagawa not concerned as he's just focused on getting the first out with 2 strikes on Anthony Burgos. The infield drawn in again. The 1-2. This one fouled back. It'll stay 1-2. Josh Roberts is on deck. And a chance for things to continue positively for Jared Lemieux's Alberta Grizzly, who have tied up the ball game here in the top of the 6th on an RBI single by A.J. Carosis. The 1-2 fouled back to the screen, and the tension rises in this battle between Takushi Minagawa and Anthony Burgos. The wind pushing in and towards right field for Anthony Burgos from the right side of the plate. The 1-2. A swing and a miss. The ball kicks away. That'll allow him to reach safely on the drop third, and the run scores. The Alberta Grizzly have taken the 5-4 lead on the wild pitch. Just like that, the lead is exchanged back into the favor of the Alberta Grizzly, and again, runners at the corners. And now Aaron Miles will have to take a trip out to the mound. This might be it for Minagawa as he steps off the mound, walking towards his manager. He takes the ball from Minagawa, and that will be his day. An unfortunate turn of events for such an excellent start for Minagawa outside of the first and this current sixth inning. The Grizzly have taken the 5-4 lead. There are still no outs with runners at the corners. It will be Noah Cole, and we'll tell you more about him when we come back here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like our eat, drink, and play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 1999s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection in an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
We're back into it. In the top of the 6th, the Alberta Grizzly have taken the lead 5-4 over the British Columbia Bombers in this win-or-go-home scenario, the wild card game kicking off the 2025 California Winter League postseason. And Aaron Miles has to take the ball away from Takushi Minagawa, who got through 5+ innings of work, but has since spiraled out of control, allowing 4 straight base runners aboard, 2 of which have scored. Here in the top of the 6th, he gives way to Noah Cole, the righty, the new Session 2 guy, who has not played in about a year and a half prior to this. Last pitched for the Empire State Grays in the Frontier League in 2023. The first pitch to Josh Roberts misses away for ball 1.
Yeah, Noah Cole has 1 outing here in the Winter League. It was 1 2/3 against China, allowed 5 runs, 1 earned.
And he hits Josh Roberts and loads up the bases there. And I was just going to make a point to say in his first appearance he really struggled with control, but I guess Cole is going to show it here with a hit by pitch and getting them into an even worse predicament with bases loaded, nobody out, here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, he allowed just 1 hit in that 1 2/3, but faced 12. He walked 4 of them, and it was a tough outing against China.
The first pitch to Davey Morgan misses low for ball 1. Davey Morgan 0 for 2 with a walk, came around to third in the second inning, did not score. And now the next pitch, a nice backhanded pick there from Collins. Prevents the ball from escaping another wild pitch and another run. It's a 2-0 count for Morgan. Cole, cross-legged, fires from the stretch, misses inside, moving Morgan off the mound. It's 3-0. Has not thrown a strike yet. Cole trying to put his Bombers in the best possible situation as he can as he finally gets strike 1 over the heart of the plate. They're on a fastball at 88.
Yeah, Noah Cole in that outing against against China took the loss, had just 24 strikes out of 52 pitches.
This one on the ground, chopped foul to the third base side. And now a 3-2 count on Davey Morgan. And again, just some just-in-case action in the bullpen. It's Sebastian Encarnacion in the bullpen, who got his first save in his last appearance. Just in case things continue to spiral for the Bombers. The pitch misses inside, and a run is walked in. An RBI based on balls, and it's a 6-4 ball game for the Alberta Grizzly. Really unfortunate scenario as he gets it to a 3-0 count to a 3-2 count. Just one strike away from getting out of that, or at least getting the first out as the first pitch misses for ball one to Andrew Gravdahl. 2 for 3 coming into this at-bat. Still bases loaded, not out of the woods yet. This one hit down the right field line, goes foul.
And it's really just, it's a series of unfortunate events for the Bombers out there. Takushi Minagawa thought he had Burgos struck out. He threw a great breaking ball in the dirt, but it bounced a mile away from Mason Collins, and that allowed the tying run to score. And then Josh Roberts comes up, gets hit.
This one on the ground, it hits Gravdahl's bat twice as it bounces back up for strike 2.
Morgan gets walked, and things are just starting to unravel for the Bombers, and it's 6-4 now.
Still a 2-run lead for the Grizzly as he gets this one on the ground past the glove of Macabrota into right field. 2 runs have scored. Heading to third on the throw in is Davey Morgan. Now runners at the corners with a 2 RBI single for Andrew Gravdahl. His third hit of the day. It is now 8-4 Alberta Grizzly.
Yeah, just a breaking ball by Noah Cole that he hung over the heart of the plate, right above the knees. A perfect pitch for Gravdahl to hit, and he did not miss it.
So that closes the line for Minagawa as Scott Shaw swings on top of a fastball. For strike 1, no outs recorded this inning. This is the 8th batter that has come up to the plate here in the top of the 6th where the Grizzly have put up a 5 spot. So far, there's a called strike 2. And Noah Cole is ahead of the count here with again runners at the corners. Cole comes set and now fires the 0-2, which is popped up to shallow left center. Coming in is Brown in left field. He'll make the grab and quickly throw in. The throw is offline. And scoring is Davey Morgan. A sacrifice fly gets the 6th run of this inning and the 9th run of the day for the Alberta Grizzly, who have just broken open this game.
Yeah, once that ball was hit, you immediately know that Davey Morgan's going to score. Jaden Brown had to run over to his left, the opposite side from his right-handed throwing arm, and he catches the ball, has to make an awkward pivot to quickly get the ball off, and it just took too long.
There goes Gravdahl towards second. He slides in with plenty of time as the pitch misses for ball 1 on Braden Dolbatian, the only batter in this Grizzly lineup who has not come up to the plate here in the top of the 6th. He represents the 9th batter this inning for the Alberta Grizzly, who are in a great position to advance to the quarterfinals as it stands right now. Next pitch, a fastball over the heart of the plate. It's a 1-1 count on Dolbatian, who's 0 for 3 on the day so far, and now he has a runner in scoring position for a chance to get double digits. This one hit into left field, a solid hit that gets past Brown. He's charging after it as it finds its way to the wall. Coming in to score is Gravdahl. That's going to be an RBI double for Braden Dolbatian. Make it 10-4, Alberta Grizzly.
Joey, everything just starting to break the Grizzlies' way after a couple of tough breaks earlier in this game, and now the floodgates opening. 7 runs in the top of this 6th inning, and there's still only 1 out.
Well, they must have looked ahead to the forecast tomorrow, because when it rains, it pours, and it sure has for the Grizzly offense. Matthew Maldonado steps up to the plate. Came around to score twice, including leading off this inning with an E3. As the pitch misses outside for ball 2, a 2-0 count to the lefty Maldonado. 1 for 3 on the day with a 2 RBI single back in the first. The pitch from Cole is grounded right in front of home plate, but is dead. For strike 1, there has been an out recorded, but that's the only one on the sacrifice from Scott Shaw. Noah Cole trying to get his Bombers, his bats back as soon as possible. The pitch misses outside. It's ball 3. Maldonado steps in the box to face the righty. The righty on lefty matchup. This one skied in the air towards shallow right field. Backing up is Hernandez, who will make the grab and throw into the cutoff with Braden Dolbatian standing at second, not going anywhere. But there's out number 2 recorded. A chance to get out of the nightmare inning. Matthew Fabian, who has had an incredible day. 3 for 3, all singles. He went down with some rib cage soreness on January 31st. He came back for the first time yesterday in the final game of the regular season, and he's come out guns a-blazing with a ball 1 count on him. The 11th batter to come up to the plate for the Alberta Grizzly this inning, as they've broken open this game with a 10-4 lead in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball hits at the knees there. Evens up the count at 1 apiece on Fabian. Jared Lemieux can, at the moment, take a little bit of the pressure off his shoulders as the pitch misses. For ball 2, it almost gets away from Collins. He was searching for it, but Dolbatian giving mercy to Cole, staying at second. Next pitch misses high on a fastball. It's a 3-1 count to the former Frontier Leaguer of the no longer existing Empire State Grays. They were replaced last season by the New England Knockouts, now the Brockton Rocks. As the pitch misses inside, it's a 5-pitch walk, and this inning continues with runners at first and second. Top of the 6th here at Palm Springs Stadium. This inning will see a 12th batter. That coming in the form of A.J. Corosis, who got himself the RBI single that tied up the game.
And with Noah Cole on the mound, you can see what made him a professional player. You could see what got him into the Frontier League. He's got some solid stuff, but he has just not been able to locate.
7 runs this inning for the Alberta Grizzlies so far, and Corosis swings and misses atop a fastball that tails away from the lefty. It's strike 1. 2 outs here and runners at first and second. Jason Leone staying warm in the pen, playing catch with Thomas Petrosino, the backup catcher. There's another called strike. It's an 0-2 count on Corosis. 1 for 3 on the day coming into this at-bat. Noah Cole has a chance to get out of this inning with one more pitch. Comes to the plate with the 0-2. Missing low and outside. It's ball 1. A discouraging inning for any defense, who will have to pick up the bats in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Bubba Thompson to lead it off in the 7 spot. This one off the end of the bat, down the left field line. Good amount of hang time playable for Jaden Brown, which concludes a breakaway inning. 7 runs played for the Alberta Grizzly. They take the lead 10-4 heading into the bottom of the 6th. We'll see how the Bombers respond here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Quality first. It's quite a philosophy to live by. But world-class ingredients are the foundation of great meals. And we wouldn't have it any other way. At Kaiser Grill in downtown Palm Springs, we believe you deserve the best. So whether it's dinner for 2 or a celebration with 200 friends, quality is our promise to you. Because quality is king. Quality is Kaiser.
Into the bottom of the 6th. And if you're just joining us, the Alberta Grizzly have just taken a 7th spot in the 6th. They took an early 3-0 lead in the top of the 1st. The Bombers worked their way back and gained a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 4th. But with that 7-run lead, or rather with that 7 spot in the top of the 6th, now a 6-run lead for the Alberta Grizzly, who are just 6 outs away from advancing to the quarterfinals on Friday to face the Palm Springs Chill. Bubba Thompson steps in, who checks swings, does go around on a pitch that was outside from Jason Leone, who came in the 5th inning to relieve Luke Payne, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Alberta Grizzly, who's now in line for the win. This one hit into right field, a solid line drive, and it gets over the head of Matthew Fabian. On his horse is Bubba Thompson, who gets in standing with a leadoff double to kick things off here in the bottom of the 6th. His 2nd hit of the day. He's now 2 for 3, as that brings up Jaden Brown.
Well, you're down 6, and you need to get something started. Bubba Thompson taking it into his own hands. A fastball on the outer half of the plate, takes it and drives it to one of the deeper parts of the park, and a runner in scoring position for Jaden Brown, who's been on twice.
Pitch misses high and gets out of the glove of Burgos. The pass ball allows Bubba Thompson to advance to third base on what will be a 1-0 count to Jaden Brown, who has come around to score 2 of the Bombers' 4 runs, still trailing by 6 here in the bottom of the 6th. 9 hits on 10 runs for the Grizzly, 5 hits on 4 runs for the Bombers. The pitch from Leone, a late swing and a miss. And it's a 1-1 count as he blew the 86-mile-per-hour fastball by him. The 9-spot Mark Hernandez stands on deck, awaiting in the shadows of whatever Jaden Brown can piece together. There's a called strike 2. As he shakes his head there. Steps out of the box, looks down to center field and steps back in. Nobody out and a runner at third for the Bombers, trying to get back what they can after they led across 7. This one off the end of the bat down the right field line, trending foul and getting out of play as Fabian gave chase. The count remains 1-2. One error for both teams today so far Other than that, it's been a pretty clean game defensively and a whole lot of hits. The 1-2. This one fouled back over the net on the first base side into Sunrise Park. Jaden Brown stays alive. Bubba Thompson with the leadoff double. He's at third. His arm dangling at his side, a Kimbrel-esque approach. Is Leon, who misses outside with a 2-2 count now to Jaden Brown. There will be a day off tomorrow with the anticipation of rain. You can already see it in the clouds right now. It should be raining all day tomorrow. And the quarterfinals will kick off on Friday. The 2-2 blown by Jaden Brown. Up and away. Got him to chase on the 87-mile-per-hour fastball. And out number one on the strikeout. Brings up Mark Hernandez with one out.
And Joey, there's two errors in the game, one by each team. The Grizzlies' error has not affected them. It was in the first inning and allowed Josh Hoffman to move over.
This one kicks away from Burgos. Bubba Thompson not going home because Jason Leon was right there on the coverage as the first pitch misses for ball one to Mark Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 coming into this at-bat. A strikeout and a fly out to center field.
But the Bombers' error, that was to allow Matthew Maldonado to reach, leading off the sixth inning where the Grizzlies scored 7.
1-0. He's in there for strike one. Those 7 runs have now attributed to a 6-run lead, 10-4. Alberta Grizzly over the British Columbia Bombers in the 2025 wild card game. The 1-1 misses high. It's a 2-1 count. As Hernandez gets ahead of him. Leon already back on the rubber. The middle infielders in normal depth on the line of where the dirt meets the grass in left and right field respectively. The next pitch curves and misses low. It's a 3-1 count. And at risk of a walk here, we saw how detrimental walks were in that big inning. Free bases came 3 times, including a hit by pitch. The pitch misses, and that is, in fact, ball 4. Runners now at the corners for the leadoff spot in Elijah Dickerson, who, despite the 6-run deficit, has been a hero for the Bombers, making an incredible diving catch in the outfield, which at the time potentially saved a big inning. He also has the RBI double, which put them ahead briefly in the 4th. He fouls the first pitch back to the screen for strike 1. 10-4 Grizzly with 1 out here, a chance of a double play to send this to the 7th. Elijah Dickerson takes the next pitch inside for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Elijah Dickerson 1 for 1 and 2 walks today. The most fitting bat that matches the uniform for these Bombers. He sends this one in the air towards right field. Playable for Fabian, who settles under it and throws in quickly. A run scores on the sacrifice fly, and the Bombers cut their deficit to 5. It's 10-5 Grizzly here in the bottom of the 6th. Good way to prevent the shutdown after their opponents put up a 7 spot. And another RBI for Elijah Dickerson, his 2nd of the day, but also the 2nd out. A throw over to check on Jaden Brown, who's still at first, is unsuccessful. Joshua Hoffman coming up to the plate. He's got 2 RBIs in that 2 spot, the righty in right field, sends this one into right field. Fabian doesn't have to move much. He grabs it for out number 3. With one left on base for the Bombers, they put across one. And it's a 5-run lead for the Alberta Grizzly as we send it to the final inning of regulation. The Alberta Grizzly just 3 outs away, defensively speaking, before they advance to the next round of the playoffs here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
We send it into the 7th. Jared Lemieux's Alberta Grizzly have taken a late 10-5 lead over the British Columbia Bombers, the 6 and 7 seed, facing off to see who advances to the quarterfinals on Friday to face the Palm Springs Chill, and whose season will end in just a few moments. Ryuya Kato is now on the mound to limit the damage of what Takushi Minagawa and Noah Cole did in tandem in that big 7-run inning for the Alberta Grizzly. Ryuya Kato on the season had 6 appearances, 8 1/3 innings pitched. His last appearance was against these Grizzly. He only got 1 out, gave up a run unearned on 1 hit. He also got a strikeout in 5 batters faced. He'll face them for the 2nd time. And for his case, he hopes not. Actually, this will be the last time no matter what happens. But right now, just trying to get 3 quick outs to see if the Bombers can pull off something in the bottom of this inning. They have the home field advantage with the 6th seed. Anthony Burgos swings and misses for strike 1 to kick things off here in the 7th. 0 for 3 on the day, but he reached on a drop 3rd strike and came around to score. There's another big swing and a miss, and it's quickly 0-2 on Burgos. Ryuya Kato, the righty on the mound. Fires the 0-2. Misses inside as the pitch gets away from him on the arm hand side. Ryuya Kato has been with the Bombers all year. His first appearance on day 2 against the Blue Sox on January 24th. This one hit in the air just beyond the infield on the right side. Coming in is Hoffman. He'll make the grab for out number 1. A lot quicker than the prior inning for out number 1, which took 7 batters to finally get that out number 1. That out produced a run as well in that big 7-run inning, which brings us to this 10-5 lead that the Alberta Grizzly have. Josh Roberts steps up to the plate. He takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. His 3rd pitcher that he's faced today. He was the one who came in right after Noah Cole came in to relieve Takushi Minagawa. He takes strike 1. Nice breaking ball by Kato down the middle. Quick pitch fires, and a swing and a miss from the switch hitting lefty. Falls behind 1-2. Roberts 0 for 2 coming into this at-bat and a hit by pitch. on a 1-0 count from Cole. This one on the right side, that'll get past the slide of Hernandez. Just out of reach, keeps the Grizzly on base with a single and 1 out here. Not hard hit, 75 off the bat, but put it in the right spot, pulled it. And that brings up the leadoff spot once more in Davey Morgan. With bases loaded and a full count, he took ball 4 and got the RBI the easy way. One of the 2 walks he's seen today as the first pitch gets out of the glove of Collins on the wild pitch that misses outside, allowing Josh Roberts to take second and get into scoring position. It'll be a 1-0 count on Davey Morgan. 0 for 2 and 2 walks, but has come around to score. Top of the 7th, 10-5, Alberta Grizzly. This one runs up and in, having a duck out of the way before it hits him in the face. It's a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and Cotto's been solid for the Bombers this year, but he doesn't strike a ton of guys out, just 6 on the season, and walks have been an issue at times.
This one on the ground. It goes foul towards the Bombers' dugout. There's strike 1. It's a 2-1 count.
At times it's tough in late inning relief. He relies on a lot of soft contact, so that can allow bloop hits and errors to put runs on the board for other teams, but he only really struggled against the power.
There goes Roberts towards third. A great jump there. He gets there with plenty of time as the pitch hits for strike 2. Might have been a swing and a miss there. Josh Roberts, who led the league in the regular season with stolen bases, finds one here in the playoffs and gets within 90 feet of scoring for the second time today. Ryu Yakato comes set as the infield is drawn in on the next pitch. That's hit down the left field line. That'll get through. Davey Morgan seeing 2 as the run is already scored. He's heading 3. As there was some trouble there, a close play as he slides in head first. He's safe with an RBI triple. That actually might be a double and an error as the score shows. But nevertheless, an RBI in the second one of the day for Davey Morgan gets the Grizzly up 11-5 here in the top of the 7th. Second error of the day for the Bombers, who again with 1 out have a runner at third. Gravdal gets this one into the ground and goes foul down the right field line for strike 1. Gravdal with the incredible 3 for 4 day. Couple RBIs on his last single. Next pitch misses low and in. It evens up the count at 1 apiece. 11-5 Alberta Grizzly. Now 3 outs defensively from advancing as the next pitch misses high and outside for ball 2. Gravdal looks forward with anticipation as the pitch misses outside. Falls to a 3-1 count after falling behind 0-1. Ryu Yakato will have to be selective with how he throws this next pitch. Who misses outside. 4 straight balls. And now runners at the corners again with another free base by the Bombers pitching staff. Scott Shaw will get his 5th plate appearance of the day. They're going through the 5th time through the order right now here in the top of the 7th. Got a sac fly, RBI, to left field, which represented the first out of that big inning. As he hits this one the same way towards left field. Davey Morgan will not come in to score, but tagging and going to second is Andrew Gravdal. So at least something came out of that F7 there, which records the second out of the 7th inning. Braden Dolbatian steps in now with 2 runners in scoring position. and 2 outs. He got himself an RBI double. Last time up, representing his 1 hit of 4 at-bats today. Curveball bends in over the zone for strike 1. Ryu Yakato has given up a run and advanced the Grizzly lead to 6, and now this ball kicks away and gets to the backstop to score another one. Davey Morgan scores on the wild pitch. Gravdal advances to third. It's 12-5.
And this is just the difference in the game. The Grizzly haven't had the mistakes that the Bombers have had today. There's been a ton of wild pitches and passed balls, and the 2 errors that the Bombers have had have really bit them.
It's now a 1-1 that gets behind the head of Braden Dolbatian. Good catch there by Collins, reaching up and snagging it before a potential second wild pitch that could score Gravdal at third. Here's one that's popped up, ranging foul on the first base side. Macabrota has it in his sights. He grabs it for out number 3. 2 more runs come across for the Alberta Grizzly, who are just 3 outs away from ending the Bombers' season and advancing to the quarterfinals on Friday with a date with the Palm Springs Chill. We'll be right back. It looks to be Daniel Clark to try and close things out here in this wild card game on this Wednesday afternoon on your California Winter League YouTube channel. Bottom 7, the Alberta Grizzly in the past 2 innings have scored 9, attributing to what is now a 7-run lead. Yes, that is correct, a 7-run lead, 12-5. As we head into the last Bombers bats, there'll be a new pitcher on the mound, Daniel Clark, trying to close the door on the Bombers season and seal their fate, allowing them to advance to the quarterfinals on Friday. Joey Miller, Stephen Buxton, thank you so much for tuning in. If you've been with us this entire journey. First one up is Davis Druick, who takes strike 1. And Davis Druick, who we've been talking about the amazing week he's had. He's coming into this at-bat 0 for 3, but this is the pitcher that he got a 3-run home run off of just last week. Daniel Clark gets him to swing and miss for strike 2. Quickly falling behind the power lefty for the Bombers in what could potentially be his last at-bat of this Winter League season. The 0-2. This one off the end of the bat. He pulls it foul down the first baseline. Stays alive at 0-2. 2 strikeouts on the day for Druick. There have been 5 total, and he's 2 of them from the Alberta Grizzly pitching staff. The 0-2 again. Missing low and inside for ball 1. Jared Lemieux sits on with anticipation and hopes of celebrating after 3 more outs. The 1-2 misses outside for ball 2. Lemieux and his Grizzly coming into this game with a 5-game losing streak, were the underdogs, to put it lightly. And they have proven themselves as they have awoken for a big 12-5 lead here into the final inning of regulation. The next pitch misses low for ball 3. It's a full count on Davis Druick. Next pitch cuts up and in. It's a walk. And a free base that starts off this inning for the Bombers. One aboard, nobody out. Here comes Nolan Macabrota. Another big power-hitting lefty. Coming into this at-bat, 0 for 2 on the day and a walk. One spark starts a fire, just like it did in that big 7-run inning in the 6th for the Grizzly when they took the lead for the second time today. He gets a strike one call on an off-speed that finds the zone, the righty on lefty matchup. Next pitch cuts in, allowing Druick to advance to second. Macabrota gets out of the way on another wild pitch, which has been the theme of what's caused the detriment for the British Columbia Bombers. A 1-1 count and a runner in scoring position for the Bombers. This one on the ground to the right side. Past the dive of Davey Morgan at second. Coming around to score is Davis Druick, an RBI single. The first hit of the day for Nolan Macabrota. Now a 12-6 lead for the Grizzly, cutting it down by just one more.
Well, Joey, it's a start. Got a fastball, got a hold of it, got under. A great attempt by Morgan, and hustling the whole way around. Davis Druick comes in to score, and it's a tall task, but you got to start somewhere if you're the Bombers.
First pitch hits for strike one. An off-speed to Howie Hatton. Kind of screws into the strike zone. A nice pitch there by Daniel Clark. It's an 0-1 count. Macabrota, a conservative lead at first. This one in the air towards the center fielder Gravdal. Ranging over to his left. He'll make the grab in right center for out number 1. 2 outs away from advancing to the quarterfinals. Brings up Mason Collins. 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded out into an inning-ending double play back in the 3rd when things were just speeding by so quick. And then things starting to topple over once the 6th inning came around. There's a called strike one. Daniel Clark doing a great job getting ahead of these counts. All 3 and now 4 batters he's faced. Next pitch is softly hit towards the on-deck circle where Bubba Thompson stands on a pitch that he was out in front of. Collins now behind 0-2. Nodding and a sign is Clark. This one's softly served, foul. On the third base side, A.J. Carosis tried to give chase to it. Stays 0-2. As we mentioned, there will be an off day tomorrow in anticipation of rain. Unlikely field conditions for playing if the forecast is correct. This one in the air might be playable, should be playable down the third base line, but colliding, and somebody made the play there. It was Burgos who makes the grab, a miscommunication and a lucky break there on the F2. Macabrota stays at first.
Yeah, great job by Burgos to even hold on to that. It's a scary play there. You've got your third baseman and catcher running into each other. I didn't hear anyone even call it.
No, and it's expected that an infielder coming in on a pop fly might be the person with the best chance of catching that one, but Burgos, trusting his instincts, he was tracking that ball all the way down. Lucky that he held on to it. And now the last hope for the Bombers season is Bubba Thompson with 1 out away from advancing. The first pitch misses for ball one. Bubba Thompson, an excellent day, 2 for 3, scoring 2 of those 6 runs that the Bombers have put up on the Grizzly today. They're still behind by 6 here in the bottom of the 7th as Bubba Thompson takes a called strike. Twilight looming for Aaron Miles in his first season in the California Winter League as the next pitch is fouled back, and now just 1 strike away. The Alberta Grizzly have a chance to move on to the next round in the playoffs. A 1-2 count for Bubba Thompson and a runner at first. The pitch misses low and away. It's an even 2-2 count. A thrilling game from the start when the Grizzly got out to a 3-0 lead. This one on the ground. This could do it. Morgan steps on second base and ends the game. The Alberta Grizzly have moved on to the quarterfinals and will face the Palm Springs Chill on Friday. With that, that concludes the British Columbia Bombers season on a final score of 12-6. Massive win for Jared Lemieux as he stayed in it the entire way. And we have a lot to tell you about when we come back on a quick post-game show here on the California Winter League YouTube channel. Final score 12-6. We'll be right back. The Grizzly have advanced.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99, including one mouth-watering entree, a refreshing beverage, a $10 power card, and a whole lot of fun, which means you enjoy a delicious meal for under $10. But look, that's 5 good things. Good things come in threes at Dave & Buster's with the Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Buy online or in-store today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
We're back here on the post-game show where the season has concluded for the British Columbia Bombers, who started off this season 0-5, came back and made major improvements down the stretch, and fell here in this wild card game to the Alberta Grizzly, who just snapped a 5-game losing streak going into the playoffs in a major fashion. Jared Lemieux will continue his playoff run and keep his team's hopes alive as they'll face the Palm Springs Chill on Friday. Joey Miller, Stephen Buxton, let's walk you through this ball game here. In the top of the first, it was off to the races for the Grizzly. They scored 3 runs for an early 3-0 lead. Denying the shutdown were the Bombers in the bottom of the first, staying with it, scoring a run. And then the Bombers would tie up the game in the second inning. An amazing comeback as they had to quickly change their starter, Matthew Maldonado, in lieu of Luke Payne. And it looked like positive momentum for the Bombers after that they got the go-ahead run on an RBI double from Elijah Dickerson. The Bombers did for a 4-3 lead for Takushi Minagawa, who pitched excellent through 5, but it was the 6th inning of work that he came into trouble, allowing his first many batters on with an error, many hits that inning. Noah Cole didn't really help put out the fire, and it was a 7-run inning in the top of the 6th for the Grizzly that kind of cemented their win here, the 12-6 win. 7 runners left on base for both teams. Pretty even game other than that one big inning. Stephen Buxton, your thoughts?
Well, it always felt like Takushi Minagawa in the first inning got tagged up a little bit, but from then on was rolling, worked his way in and out of a jam in the second. The third through 5th innings, it seemed like he could do no wrong. I mean, an absolute shot by Scott Shaw in the 5th, who was robbed of at least a double by Elijah Dickerson in center. That felt like it might have been the official turning point where the Bombers might have taken all the momentum. But right after that, a 0 put up by Luke Payne, and the Grizzly were off to the races. The 6th inning, 7 runs there, and the final nail in the coffin in the 7th when they put 2 up there. The Bombers tried to come back. They put up a pair of runs in the last 2, but it just wasn't enough.
I'd be remiss to say that Jared Lemieux in the past couple months has evaded danger of falling behind at some point in a contest in a wild card game in 2 different teams that he's managed, once in the Frontier League with the Lake Erie Crushers when he beat the Gateway Grizzlies to advance to the conference finals. And now he finds himself in the similar situation, but in much bigger fashion, as he keeps his playoff dreams alive for his 7-seed team, who, as we mentioned, will face Tom Vaith's Palm Springs Chill. It will, funny enough, be a matchup of those same managers who faced off in the conference finals in the Frontier League 2024 season. History repeating itself, and if that has anything to say, that means that Tom Vaith will take that. But we'll see. Anything can happen, especially with the breakout game for the Grizzly. They got to be feeling good about themselves. For the Bombers, it's adios. And for Aaron Miles, a great season of managing his first team here in the California Winter League season. Hats off to him. Thank you so much, Aaron Miles, for coming out here to Palm Springs, spending your winter here with us. Other than that, that should do it here. From the booth, it's Joey Miller and Stephen Buxton. A 12-6 victory. The Alberta Grizzly move on in the wild card game. The Bombers end their 2025 California Winter League campaign. And we will see you here on Friday for the quarterfinals. It will be the Palm Springs Chill and the Alberta Grizzly, as well as the Washington Blue Sox, taking on the Palm Springs Power to see who goes on to the semifinals on Saturday. That's it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and now it's time for us to tune out. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and